We asked this founder how much we should charge for our 90-minute workshop, and he said this.
Go with the upper end of 1,000 because it's clear you guys have a lot of knowledge.
Here's how we run it and what that looks like. So the first step is we'll talk about the persona and frame that key customer around all of our decision making. So you have a key customer in mind. How do you move them from being a stranger to your product all the way through to telling all of their friends and colleagues about it? We use a journey map to explore that process. It looks a bit like this. A step that a lot of people don't think about when we ask them is that first attraction step. Okay, you've got all of these features, but how are you going to get your first customers? How are you going to start that adoption curve? They might have had ideas, but nothing in a linear, useful journey like this. So it can be a really insightful experience for people to go through. We tend to try and keep it as short as possible and keep the momentum going, always focusing on that product adoption piece. A person has a problem, a pain point. They've been sold on your marketing, and for the first time, they're actually going to take that action to try your product. That's where you lose a lot of customers. So we focus quite heavily on this part of the process of showing that value as fast as possible. We call it a magic moment. It's usually within the 120-second mark that people make their mind up whether they're actually going to carry on with the experience or not. And then we'll talk about how we encourage people to pay an upgrade. We've shown the value up front, but then how do we make this into a scalable business that people are actually willing to pay for? And then we'll move them through into regular habitual use. So this is now part of their lives and they come back to it. So it's a retention piece. It's all good getting loads and loads of customers in, but they're always churning. Obviously, that's not great. It's a lot cheaper to keep your customers than have to attract new ones through marketing spend. And then finally, organic growth comes from sharing. They love it so much. They want to champion it. They want to tell their friends about it, their colleagues, bring it into their business. How do we encourage that? How do we make that really easy? So now we have this journey map. We've mapped out someone's entire experience going from totally cold to just loving the product and sharing it. How do we take these insights and make them powerful and useful, insightful and action focused? That's the next step. Once we've got the journey map, it'll be clear there will be areas of value that you can focus on from there, which we then turn into how might we statements, so that you're thinking from a solution viewpoint rather than a problem pain point. Here we've got how might we keep human touch at scale, for example, which is more and more important now in the age of AI, keeping that human touch, because everyone's thinking about scaling, but the experiences that make people want to stay sometimes don't always feel automated. They feel human. So you've got your journey map, you've got your powerful actionable insights. How do you convert that into something that feels even more tangible? Whether you're a designer or a client, try and map out ideas visually. You can do this in FigJam. You can do this with a pen and paper over camera, but get those ideas down into something visual, because it takes a lot less time to understand something once you see it visually. Most of our design life now is about collaboration and alignment before we even touch Figma. So as we come through, we're just mapping out how that journey we've just looked at could work in the best way possible for that customer. This is super lo-fi, as you can see. It's basically block framing. It's getting ideas down as quickly as possible, talking about them, and then iterating on them in real time. It's so powerful. I highly recommend it. It started generating ideas at this point. Oh, we could do this. Oh, we could do that. Oh, this might work better. It's that kind of thought process versus talking about something in a list and letting a designer go off on their own. We do this first, and then the designer can go off and make it more hi-fi. So this is almost like a live prototype, so you can see the flows working out. So one of the things that came up here was the fact that they get to the end here and they have a choice, but we want to give them a free way to experience the app. A powerful way to do that is with community and building community, so that people aren't ready to purchase can move into a community space, which works as a self-fulfilling loop where trust gets built in that environment. You're curating a community of potential customers. So it's quite a powerful way for an app to give people a different pathway versus just straight to upgrade. A lot of the collaboration aspects of this workshop you can use in your day-to-day. As a designer, it's more about ensuring that decisions get made, alignment happens as quickly as possible versus spending hours and hours in meetings discussing things. You come out of those meetings with something tangible and valuable, and you're not going to be spending hours in Figma and then dropping it in front of a stakeholder's lap and hoping that they're going to like it. That is going to be a painful way to spend your design career. We find that it's much more satisfying for everyone if there's a visual element involved in all of the meetings, so that there's always something tangible at the end of it. And that looks like this workshop. So yeah, I hope that helped. Thanks for watching.